Describe SSERAFIM's brand in one word. Chances are you said fearless. Honestly, I would have said the exact same thing, because everything about SSERAFIM feels like that. The way they perform, the way they carry themselves, the image they put out into the world, it all points to one thing. Then I started looking at everything that's happened throughout their career, and suddenly I wasn't so sure anymore. Because for a group whose entire identity revolves around fearlessness, something wasn't adding up. So I went back to where it all started. Source Music debuted a 6-member girl group, Chaewon, Sakura, Yoonjin, Kazuha, Garam, Yoonchae, and they called them SSERAFIM. Rearrange the letters and it spells I'm fearless. Looking back, that already feels like a statement, because 2022 was loud. Bigger concepts, bigger performances. Everyone was trying to grab your attention. But SSERAFIM, they did the opposite. They debuted with a song called Fearless. The music was restrained and the styling was minimal. The whole thing felt closer to a luxury campaign than a K-pop debut. They came in quiet, and somehow that was louder than everyone else. It all felt very fearless. At least that's how I saw it. But while I was looking back at their debut, I came across an interview with Yoonjin, and one answer completely changed the way I understood this era. She said, "It's impossible to actually be scared of nothing." I remember hearing that and thinking, wait, then what does fearless actually mean? She answered it herself. To us, being fearless means accepting the parts of us that are scared and showing everything as honestly as we can. And almost immediately, that idea was put to the test. Before debut promotions had even finished, Kim Garam became the center of a school bullying controversy. Just 2 weeks after debut, the group that looked untouchable suddenly wasn't. Just 5 months later, a new music video drops, and in it, the world is ending. Literally. A meteorite is heading straight for Earth, and SSERAFIM just keeps going, living their lives unfazed, like the end of the world is background noise. And the project is called ANTIFRAGILE. Most people heard that word and thought, okay, strong girls, we get it. But anti-fragile doesn't mean strong. It doesn't even mean resilient. It means something way more specific than that. In 2012, an economist named Nassim Nicholas Taleb wrote a book called Anti-Fragile, and his argument was simple. Some things break under pressure, some things survive it. But anti-fragile things, they actually get better because of it, not despite the chaos, because of it. That's a very specific idea, and SSERAFIM didn't just borrow the word, they built an entire comeback around the philosophy, which, given everything that just happened to them, was either incredibly bold or incredibly calculated. Probably both. And look at the album art. It's inspired by kintsugi, a Japanese art form where broken ceramics are repaired with gold. The whole philosophy being that the break doesn't ruin the object. It makes it more valuable. So think about what they're actually saying here. They're not pretending the fearless era was clean. They're not hiding the cracks. Everything they went through, the controversy, the chaos, the member gone 2 weeks in the word of kintsugi, that's not damage. That's where the gold goes. Member Sakura said in an interview, "It's not that we're really anti-fragile, we're pursuing to be anti-fragile." Sound familiar? Because Yoonjin said almost the exact same thing about Fearless at debut. It's impossible to actually be scared of nothing. 2 completely different eras, but the exact same message. So now, go back to the Fearless era. At the time, it looked like a brand falling apart before it even started. But through the lens of Anti-Fragile, it looks completely different. Because a brand built on benefiting from pressure needs pressure to prove itself. And the Fearless era gave them plenty of it. The chaos wasn't the contradiction. Actually, stop. We've been so focused on what's been happening to this brand that we forgot to look at something that's been in front of us the entire time. The name. Because it's been telling us where this was going from the very beginning. SSERAFIM. We all know that it's an anagram of I'm fearless. That's layer 1. But have you ever noticed something else? Seraphim sounds a lot like seraphim. In biblical traditions, seraphim are the highest order of angels, 6-winged, fiery beings that exist on a completely different level from everything below them. And remember, the seraphim originally debuted with 6 members. Whether that's intentional or not, it's hard to ignore. Now by 2023, SSERAFIM had survived everything the industry threw at them, and they weren't asking for forgiveness for any of it. Unforgiven. Suddenly, those angel references aren't about something untouchable anymore. They're burning, they've fallen, they've been cast out. from something divine to something unapologetic. And that's when something clicked. That story was sitting inside their name from the very beginning. Up until now, every era felt like it was building towards something. Unforgiven is the first one that doesn't feel like it has anything left to prove. And once you notice that, you start seeing it everywhere. In the lyrics, the styling, even the decision to pair fallen angels with cowboys. Cowboys are anti-heroes, outlaws, people who live by their own rules outside of society. Fallen angels are cast out, rejected, existing beyond what's considered acceptable. Two different worlds pointing at similar directions. And SSERAFIM places themselves right in the middle of both. And I know, another member quote, but this one caught my attention. Yunjin said, "We want to empower people to walk their own path, even if you might become the villain in other people's eyes." And what stood out to me wasn't just the quote, it was what was missing. Back in Fearless, Yunjin said it's impossible to be scared of nothing. During ANTIFRAGILE, Sakura said they were pursuing anti-fragility, not that they'd reached it. But here, that uncertainty is gone. There's no "we're trying," no "we're pursuing." Just walk your own path, even if it makes you the villain. For the first time, the brand sounds settled. After Unforgiven, the brand feels complete. The group knows exactly who they are, so when the next era is called Easy, it almost feels out of place. Because if there's one thing this story hasn't been, it's easy. At first glance though, that's exactly what the era seems to be. The styling is relaxed, the choreography looks effortless, even the title sounds almost bragging in a way, like they've reached a point where confidence just comes natural. But the album quietly challenges that idea before the title track even begins. It opens up with Good Bones, an intro about accepting that struggle is part of life, that hardship isn't something you escape, it's something you build on. So before Easy even starts, the album already tells us that this isn't a story about life becoming easier. Then the slogan fills in the rest. Not just easy, make it look easy. That's a huge difference. The title isn't describing the journey, it's describing the image. And now everything else is starting to make more sense. Like how the choreography isn't designed to look difficult, it's designed to hide the difficulty. The members even said that making it look effortless was one of the hardest parts of the performance.
절대 이지하지 않았습니다. 보이기에는 진짜 쉬워 보이는데 이때까지 했던 안무 중에 제일 어려웠던 것 같아요.
맞아요.
네, 가사처럼 절대 쉽지는 않지만 저희가 쉬워 보이게끔 만들겠다라는 각오를 담았습니다.
Yes.
The better they perform, the less work you're supposed to notice. And I don't think it's just the choreography. I think that's the entire era. Every comeback before this was about facing something. Fear, pressure, judgment. But Easy introduces a different kind of pressure. The pressure that comes after people already expect you to be fearless. When confidence becomes your image, you're expected to make everything look effortless. And maybe that's what Easy has been saying all along. Not that the journey became easy, but once people only see the finished results, they forget there was ever a journey in the first place. At the start of this video, I asked you to describe SSERAFIM's brand in one word. Most people would probably say fearless. So did I, because if you only look at the surface, that's exactly what it looks like. But after looking at these 4 eras, I don't think Fearless is the brand. I think it's the first layer of it. And that's what fascinated me. Every time I thought I understood what this brand was trying to say, the next era gave the previous one a completely different meaning. Fearless, Anti-Fragile, Unforgiven, Easy, on their own, they're just comeback concepts. Together, they tell a much bigger story.